Getting ready to eat me some carnivore lunch. My cats are eating some carnivore lunch too. They're having some turkey. But I want to talk today about a video that Carnivore Kip made and just bring up some points. Alright, so I want to talk a little bit about Carnivore Kip's video. He used the words, I fell off the wagon, fell off the wagon, fell off the wagon, and I fall off the wagon, you know. So, I always have said, you don't fall off the wagon, you choose to get off of the wagon. It's important to realize that your choices that you make add up to your success or failure. In life, you are exactly where you are because of the choices that you have made in life, right? You are a result of your choices. And if you make good choices, you have good things in life. If you make bad choices, then bad things come in life. The bad choices might seem like the easier or good choice at the time, but the results of them are bad. And the good choices might seem a lot more difficult at the time, but in the long term, they're good. So I choose to get off the wagon once in a while, right? I've been keto and then carnivore and now mostly carnivore with a little keto for 6 years, right? I've lost around 200 pounds, but I'm still a big guy. But most of this is muscle, right? But I still have a belly, you know, but I'm not diabetic anymore. I don't have leg ulcers anymore. I don't need a knee replacement anymore, you know, so I'm not going blind anymore, right? So I'm happy. If I never lose another pound, I'm happy just doing what I'm doing. But he gave the example like he fell off the wagon on Thanksgiving. And holidays are always hard. But what I do is I have I had some stuffing that my wife made for my bread. I make a long fermented bread with 4 ingredients: water, flour, salt, and yeast, right? And if it was sourdough, I wouldn't need the yeast, but I'm not good at growing sourdough starters, so I just use some yeast. And then I had some of that stuffing. I had some crackers, and I had to look at the grocery store for crackers that were made with without ultra refined seed oils. I chose ones that had palm oil. That was the cleanest oil I could find, but at least it's not soybean oil, right? And I had some nuts, some mixed nuts, which does, like the pecans caused me to have a little bit of inflation the next day, but I had some anyway, right? I had some cauliflower mashed potatoes. Rather, there was real mashed potatoes for the other people. I had the cauliflower ones, so I didn't have all those potato carbohydrates, but I still got a little bit of the potato feeling. And I had some roux gravy that I made with turkey broth from last year's bones that I canned. A little flour, a little bit of ghee that I make myself. And then, you know, you make a roux gravy out of it with the turkey broth, right? So I had quite a bit of gravy on my turkey. I really love gravy. And then the next day, I woke up. I didn't eat breakfast, and I didn't really eat lunch, but I had an early dinner around 4 o'clock. And I just made me a turkey salad sandwich. It's like chicken salad, but with turkey instead. And I used my homemade avocado oil mayonnaise, right? That's made with 100% avocado oil, some eggs, and some vinegar, and just some spices like garlic powder, onion powder, stuff like that. I put that in there, put a little bit of onion in there, a little bit of pickles in there, stirred it up, and made me a nice big thick turkey salad sandwich with a couple of nice big thick pieces of my homemade bread. And then after that, I was back on plan, right? So when you choose to get off the wagon, you still have to make somewhat wise choices. Don't eat a bunch of Little Debbie snack cakes that are full of all kinds of bad ingredients, seed oils, monosodium glutamates, and all kinds of a list of preservatives this long, right? You don't want to eat that crap. You want to still eat real food, because the truth is that humans have eaten bread for thousands of years, right? They've eaten lentils for thousands of years. Cain and Abel ate lentils, right? So we've eaten those things for a long time, and we have not had an obesity epidemic like we have today. We have not had heart disease like we have it today. We have not had cancer like we've had it today. So those carbohydrates are not the root cause of the problem. Eating less carbohydrates when you are metabolically unhealthy is necessary to get metabolically healthy. But once you start to get into a metabolic health spot, you can start to reintroduce some of those foods occasionally as your body can handle it, and you will be okay, right? But you can't eat 99% of the crap you find in the grocery store. Next year, I'm growing my own wheat, and I'm going to thrash it and grind it into my own flour, because I don't want to buy the flour that's in the grocery store to make my bread for my family. So you have to do that. The other thing is, when I had a stroke last year, I chose to stop smoking. It is hard to quit smoking. And I really don't like to go into gas stations unless I really need to, because there's a whole wall of cigarettes behind them. And all you have to do is say, give me a pack of those Lucky Strikes in the black and blue, right? My favorite kind, right? And then you'll start smoking again, right? So you almost wish that they just put a barcode on your forehead that, would tell them not to sell cigarettes to this guy or something, And so I choose not to go into grocery stores. So my point there is, don't go to places and do things where you're going to fall off the wagon, right? To where no matter how strong you think you are, you're just going to constantly be tempted to do that, right? So don't go on a cruise for a vacation. Go somewhere. Go on a road trip. Go see the West. Go to an amusement park and ride coasters. Yes, they have food at amusement parks you shouldn't eat, but you'll be so busy having fun riding rides that you won't want to do that. Now, I know, I'm small enough now to fit on just 99% of the coasters that are out there, but when I was really heavier, I couldn't fit, right? So I spent a lot of my time just walking around the amusement park and sitting on a bench waiting for my wife and son to get off a coaster and walk into the next one, right? But I still got out there and I walked around the amusement park, right? All day long, getting good exercise and having fun while you're doing it. But, find something that works for you where you're not on a boat and the only thing to do is to go to the all-you-can-eat buffet. That's setting yourself up for a failure, right? So you don't want to do that. And as far as my family's getting together for Christmas and they want to go to the, all you can stuff your face, Golden Corral, diabetic people in wheelchair buffet. And I don't know, I don't think they use seed oil on their all you can eat steak. So I think I could have that. I might have some Brussels sprouts, but I don't know if their butter is real butter or not, so I may not have Brussels sprouts. You might just have the steak. But, I want to go to Buffalo Wild Wings where they cook their chicken wings in tallow, or I want to go to Texas Roadhouse where they won't put seed oil on the steaks. But they chose the golden stuff your face till you're fat, diabetic, and dead buffet. So you just, if you get into a situation where you're somewhere you just can't eat that food, it's hard, but you just have to make a decision not to eat and try to eat before you go so that you're pretty full, so that you're not really hungry. And then just get a drink and talk to some people. If people get weird about you not having a plate of food in front of you, get a plate and put some food on it. Choose things that you don't like, put them on there, and just move it around with your fork while you talk to people. And people don't get it, or a lot of people know that what they're eating is bad, but they still eat it, right? Because unlike cigarettes, where you can live the rest of your life without ever having another cigarette, you can't live the rest of your life without ever eating food. So food is a tough addiction, because I'm hungry, I'm going to eat, but what am I going to eat? And how am I going to eat? And how much am I going to eat? Right? And, I eat when I'm hungry. I typically eat till I'm not hungry anymore, but sometimes I like to stuff myself till I'm full with chuck roast, fried in bacon grease, right? But I eat till I'm okay. I'm satisfied, right? And then I don't want to eat anymore. And I eat probably most times twice a day, sometimes once a day, right? It depends on how busy I am fixing cars in the garage and doing work. But just remember, it's a choice, and don't set yourself up for failure. And it's okay to fall off the wagon, but you have to make wise choices when you fall off the wagon to eat as clean as possible. I'll talk to you all later. This is Tom, your Frugal Prepper.